Hello and good morning, at least where I'm at here in beautiful, cold, chilly Colorado. You can tell by what I'm wearing when it's cold. Boy, I feel it in my office. So, Carmen here. I am going to be talking today about secret sauce, our secret sauce. And I guess I should say my secret sauce, but this definitely includes my team as well. So, today is a day where I am doing a lot of coaching, whether people who are looking to become new students into my program or one-on-one coaching. So a lot of you guys know that not only do I do coaching with students who are in my programs, the Myo Mastery Program, in my year-long program, any of those programs. So I'm obviously coaching those students. I work with them one-on-one. Some of them I work with weekly, some I work with monthly. It just really depends on what program they're in. But one thing that I am seeing a lot of in this one-on-one coaching, and in this, when I'm coaching an outsider, this is somebody who's in the myofunctional therapy business. They've taken other programs, and a lot of them are really, really struggling. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to get started. They have lack of direction. And while I'm not here to talk specifically or bash anybody else's course, because I think we get knowledge from everywhere, I want to talk about the secret sauce of my programs, what's different. And the reason is because I have several students who are coming on board or interested in coming on board. And this is one thing that I talk about with them, okay? So I talked about what I'm seeing from other programs or reports. Of course, this is what the people are telling me. Is lack of direction. They take a course, they have this information, and they don't know what to do with it. And that's a real problem because you get all this great knowledge, and now what? So there's lack of direction, and then there's also it's like drinking out of a fire hose, you guys. I don't know about you, but I like to learn in manageable pieces. And when you go take a 2, 3, 4, 5 day course that crams it all down your throat, you're only going to retain some of it. So I can see why you get to the end and you're like, oh my God, what do I do? Okay. So when we talk about the secret sauce of how I set things up, how I approach things, I truly don't think it comes from the fact that I have an MBA. A lot of people who email me think that that's my secret. That's what sets me apart from other people, is because I have this prestigious graduate degree. And quite honestly, that's not it at all. I feel like what my secret sauce is in my programs and how I teach and coach and mentor you is that I have a very meticulous, a very organized, rinse and repeatable framework. And that's how I teach. I teach my students from a framework. I teach systems. Of course, I teach habits, that kind of stuff, but systems and a framework is how you're going to set up a business that's efficient, set up a business that's going to help you be productive, that's going to help you earn money. But you have to know what you're doing. You have to be able to get started, and standing on the starting line, watching everybody else run your race isn't going to get you towards your dreams that you want to fulfill. So let's talk about this process, this framework. So I call it taking you from A to Z. When you take my programs, no matter which one it is, obviously the Myo Mastery Program is my Myofunctional Therapy Foundation program. That's our spotlight. That's our foundation, okay? You have to get that information. I really focus on what you're looking for, why you're doing it, okay? You don't just need all this information, but you need to know how to apply it also. So in my frameworks, how I set things up, I educate you right from the beginning of what you're looking for and why, okay? Then it's important that you know how you're going to help somebody solve their problems. Nobody's going to pay you if you can't help solve their problem. Okay? It doesn't matter what you say, you've got to know and understand and be able to hear what they're saying, what their concern is, and how you can help, and then rinse and repeat. So I think this is the biggest thing, because read my reviews, you can see my students say, oh my gosh, it makes sense. Lots and lots of my students have spent a lot of money taking courses to try and just put the pieces together. And this isn't bad because that knowledge is helpful, but you have to be able to take something that's going to work for you and be efficient and put it into a framework. Today, I'm seeing 14 clients. That means that I have to be organized. Not only do I have to know information about these clients, whether they're in active therapy with me, whether they're wanting to start therapy with me, whether they're trying to find out if I'm the right person, I have to know what I do with each person. I have to have something that I can rinse and repeat. And this is quite unique, I think, to students who have taken other courses, and you talk to other therapists. And one thing that you will always hear people saying is nobody's a cookie cutter, everybody's unique. And I agree with that. I also disagree with that. And that's why I teach from a framework that's rinse and repeat, because most everybody that I work with, they need a skeleton, I call it a skeleton of a framework, because everybody needs some of the same stuff. Doesn't matter what their big picture looks like. If somebody has a tongue tie, they need certain things. We're working on strength coordination and this neuromuscular connection between the brain operating the tongue, if you will. It doesn't really matter what the rest of their story is, okay? They need the same stuff. They need the same bicep curls. They need to do the same squats. Swallowing is certain steps. When I teach swallowing, it's 6, 7, 8 sessions. When I teach swallowing, it's one way. There's one right way. So it makes sense to me that I teach the same thing to Jack and Jill and Joe and Susie and everybody else. That makes me efficient. When I open up somebody's chart and they're on session 8, I know what I'm teaching. When I open up their chart and they're on session 3, post-procedure after a release, I know what I'm teaching them, okay? So I think that's the secret sauce. So that's going to help you. Whether you've taken another course and you're just hanging out trying to figure out what to do, I get you, because I've been there. And that's part of the beauty of how I coach and I teach, because I've gone before you. I've made all the mistakes. I've fallen down 1,000 times and I've gotten up 1,001 times. So I have helped you in this process. And some of that, you guys already know this, but some of that comes from the fact that my course that I took was helpful in some areas. It gave me what I needed to get started, but it didn't give me what I teach. And so that's why I teach it better. I teach it in a different manner. I teach it from the framework. I teach it more organized, that kind of stuff, because I had to struggle through that. I had to struggle through sitting there saying, okay, I have client A and client A has these problems. What am I going to do to help that? So I hope that helps. I get asked a lot what my secret sauce is, and I think that's because so many people who, dental hygienists, speech therapists who are interested in pursuing a myofunctional therapy business, pursuing that side hustle, or, maybe wanting to do it full time someday. But they just wonder what my secret is. Like, is there, a pill you can take that makes it a lot easier? And I say, no, there's not. But the way that I teach it certainly makes it easy. The biggest takeaway that I want you to get from this is, don't get discouraged if you've taken another course and you can't get started. This is an investment in you. You're not going to lose that information. But if you continue taking courses and you can't find that framework or that mentor that kicks you in the butt and gets you going, eventually you're going to have so much information you can't organize it. You're never going to implement it. And that's why at some point you have to say, okay, what makes sense to me? What type of a practice do I want to build, and really go from there. So find the person who teaches a course in the way that you learn. Find the person who has what you want. That's one thing I always tell people who are considering taking my program. My jam is building a business. My jam is helping other women, leave their job, build that side hustle, build towards that future that's theirs. I left dental hygiene because I got tired of helping other people build their dreams, where now I'm living my own, and that's my jam. that's my specialty. That's my secret sauce. So, or my superpowers, my genius. Find that person who teaches how you understand. Find that person who has what you want, and then learn from that person, okay? I hope that's helpful. Keep the fight, you guys, going. I know there is such a need out here. We need all of you, all hands on deck. So figuring out how to get started, I think, is super duper important. That's all I have for today. I will be back soon, and we will talk about another hot topic. Bye for now.